I would, personally, I'd rather do it right now. And it takes me 6 months sometimes to end, yeah. I don't know how it's regular insurance. Hey, hey, girls, ready to pray?
In this building,
We're ready to pray.
We're ready. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and pray. Thank you for coming for us.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for coming to this day to give you praise. Father, we come to this meeting. Lord, let your blessing be upon this meeting and the government of the city, Father, and the administration as they work to properly lead this city into a phase of goodness for the people of the community. Father, let the decisions be wise and the knowledge of the Lord be with them. In Jesus' name, we ask this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call this meeting to order at 6:01. Roll call, please.
Here?
Here.
Here.
Here. Okay. Approval of the agenda as presented.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Doreen has made the motion to approve the agenda as presented. Christie has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Number 2, the approval of June 26th and June 27th minutes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of June 26th and 27th.
I'll second.
Okay, Doreen has made the motion to approve the minutes for June 26th and June 27th. Bobby has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Moving on, Dr. Shepherd, your name was in there first. He would like to request a business license. Would you mind to come up to our podium, sir? And if you could, make sure it's turned on. It needs to be lit up red for you. Thank you. Okay, what you have in front of you is a request for a business license. Counsel, you're welcome. You're welcome to ask me questions. Sorry.
Thank you.
Dustin's new. He might have some questions.
You have a start date, opening date?
Yes, so we're, the patient schedule, we start seeing on
So you're taking appointments? That's cool.
18th of August or
18th of July.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome. Next week.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Next week? Oh, no, I got the wrong date.
What? we were feeling like that was rather ambitious.
No, let's see, first appointment's on the 23rd, there we go.
Okay.
July 23rd.
Three established care date, appointment's on the 23rd schedule.
We're still excited about that.
Yeah, still, that's just a few days.
So have you been getting a lot of inquiries and calls? And
Quite a few. We haven't hit too hard on marketing yet. The ones that we've gotten, for example, we need a business license to be able to accept Medicare. And so we're trying to get all of our ducks in order because we've gotten a few calls saying, hey, can you take my insurance? And we say, well, we can't right now, but we will soon. It's not very reassuring to them, so we haven't hit too hard yet.
Okay.
Okay.
We had a couple people ask at Old Mining Town Days at the information booth, so
Yeah.
the word is out.
I'll make a motion that we approve a business license for Cornerstone Medical LLC for Dr. Shepherd.
A
Okay.
second?
Doreen has made the motion to accept a business license for Cornerstone Medical LLC. Dustin has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Now we're going to talk about your lease and resolution. Have you had time to look that over?
You know, I glanced, do you mind if I take just a moment? I had forgotten completely about it, actually.
Would you like a paper copy? Is it okay with the council if we bump that down to switch number 5 with number 1? So he can
Yeah,
take
so you
some
have time to go look through it.
Council, okay? Okay.
Yep.
We'll call you back up. Okay, so we're going to jump on, we'll switch it with number 5, discussion of the CDs. We'll jump ahead on those real quick. So discussion of the CDs. Basically, what we have is we have a list of CDs. You've been given a copy of each of those CDs. You can, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can line those up really easy with this by looking at your numbers. So each CD has a number, a series number, and you can line them up with that, just so you know. And that will tell you which fund they go to. So basically, they're coming up, some of them are on the 721 and some of them are on 717. What Melinda stated is if the council is okay, they can just roll back over into the next year. The interest rate would continue at a 5.05% for 6 months.
So it changes from an 11-month to a 6-month?
The 11-month currently has, just slightly.
That's strange.
That's their special.
Okay. Thoughts on that, council?
I mean, looking at them and the interest rates being what they are, I think it's a good idea to just roll them over. If the money isn't needed at this time, then it might as well be working for us.
Are there any funds that are needed anywhere, Lana?
There are not, there are some, there is a CD there for the fall, for some of our program. And I didn't know if you guys would be interested in maybe that or your concessions there or anything like that. That's the only thing that I think.
And it's my understanding that you guys have something kind of lined up for that right now at the moment. Okay. What about fire? Tim, you've got 50,000 on yours. You'd like to see it roll?
That paper you were just looking at?
This one right here. You can line it up. Because I
Yeah.
sat there this afternoon.
My question was, sorry, I didn't figure it
Oh,
out.
you're okay.
This one that shows all the funds, does that include, does the available balance include the
Well,
CD?
They're separate,
I see that, but, I mean, I just want to make sure that it's not double counted. So the available balance is the money that we can lay hands on right now, and the CDs are totally separate. That was my question.
So with our street fund, what we have available balance, half of that is from the EPA, and the other half is what we have available to use right now. So that puts us at about $150,000 we can use on streets. I think we need to use some of that funds.
Program.
But Jim, how much will that do? About what, half mile, quarter? Just kidding.
Probably. Not much more than that. I talked to, I don't know what he really did, they called him, Webb,
11s, yeah.
and, he said that they're gonna be down, probably the end of next month, or the first of September. And then I said, well, we'll try to get a couple of streets for you to look at then, and he thought like we could get them before we locked this in at last year.
So just kind of piggyback in on what they're doing for the EPA.
We programmed 65,000 for the budget next year for streets, right? Anybody remember the, I mean, we programmed quite a bit for the streets and the,
And we do have 75,000 for the streets and a CD too, if the council feels that we need to pull that to put towards streets.
I think one of the things we talked about when we were talking about the budget were we needed to find out from the EPA which streets for Positive Shore that they're going to repave.
We have a list. It's Grove.
And if we know the streets that they're going to repave, then we definitely don't want to touch those streets.
No.
Right, and we don't wanna touch any that's gonna be used.
What are the three right now?
Grove and East Cemetery,
are the three.
And they're gonna do the culvert there too. Is that where the culvert is that they were talking about?
Yeah, bridge, yeah.
I mean, so as long as you and your guys know which streets they're gonna use and which ones that they're gonna repave, then,
Yeah, they,
and we know we don't fill potholes on the streets.
they come to me and they'll say, we're done here, and then now we'll get the bids on it, turn it into Austin, and then you'll get us our money. That's the way it's been going.
Yeah. So council, with that CD, there is a $75,000 street CD, and we had 150 beyond, or not beyond, but outside of what the EPA has in the street fund at the moment. The street fund is 303,855. So are you wanting to cash that CD in for improvements, or are you wanting to roll it over? What's your thoughts?
I hate to put all our money in one basket. My personal feelings is I'd just soon roll it over and let's see what we can do with the 150 we have.
Oh, the rest of you guys, okay. So back to the topic at hand, as the whole, all of the, you don't need a vote individually, do you, on all of this? Okay, so as a whole, we need to make a vote to whether to roll them over or if there's a specific one you want to set to the side.
I mean, department heads, is there something outside of the money available to you right now? You know what I'm saying? The money we have available versus the CD, is there any reason that any of you guys can think that you need the CD money over and above what is available in your funds?
I don't think not any of mine, good.
Chief Williams, you do not have a CD. Just clarify.
Sorry about you.
Sorry.
Wow.
Hey,
I didn't want him
Chief
pondering
Williams,
too long on that.
You broke.
He's still on the set pages.
A-Trax, thank you, Karen.
I'd like to
Victor?
Plans are out, I'm driving, if you see a street, jot it down, then we can all compare, and, see where to spend that money, and, where everybody from each side of town's got a voice on it.
We had a special road district guy come in and ride around one day, and Bobby and I sat down to lunch with him and just visited. And he was talking overall, he was kind of impressed with our streets, to be honest with you, and he said the main thing that he sees as a concern is sealing. He said there's a lot of streets that have cracks that aren't sealed,
Yeah.
and those are the ones that become more of a problem in the future. That's it.
Yes,
Correct
that's
me.
exactly.
What else? Did he say anything else?
No, actually, he was impressed with our streets.
It was
I mean,
interesting.
He really thought that they were in good shape.
See, the biggest thing
Compared
is
to other
South Lane,
towns.
they're
Yes.
they're gonna repay it, so
Mhm.
I don't wanna drop any of our money on it unless we absolutely have to.
Okay, back to the CDs. Victor, did you say?
We're good.
Okay. So, council?
If everyone's in agreement, I move that we roll the CDs over for 6 months at
Okay.
5.05% interest.
Bobby has made the motion to go ahead and roll these CDs over to that 6-month with a 5.05% interest. Do I have a second?
A second.
Dustin has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. So we jump down to 5. Dr. Shepherd, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to call Dr. Shepherd back up to discuss the lease and resolution for the Cornerstone Clinic LLC. Okay. Did you get enough time to look over it? Is everything in order? Looks agreeable? Okay. Okay, council, any questions for Dr. Shepherd on that? So basically what we need to do, did I give you my resolution in that? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, yours is underneath here. Okay, sorry.
Did you want to see the resolution?
There it is. I got it. That was the resolution. Okay, so we're going to move on to the resolution, please.
A resolution of the City of Granby, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Granby and Cornerstone Medical LLC. Whereas Jamie Conway is duly elected mayor on April 4th, 2023, and whereas the Board of Aldermen feel it is sound business practice to have a resolution granting authority to Mayor Jamie Conway to sign this agreement on behalf of the City of Granby. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Granby that Jamie Conway as mayor is authorized to sign on behalf of the City of Granby an agreement between the City of Granby and Cornerstone Medical LLC.
Okay, council?
Do we make a motion, or is that? Something special, or do we just make a motion?
I need,
Move to accept the resolution as read.
Okay, Doreen has moved to accept the resolution as read. Do I have a second?
A second.
Dustin has seconded that. Roll call, please.
sorry, Doreen Klaus?
Yes.
Dustin Elder?
Yes.
Christy McGehee?
Yes.
Bobby White?
Yes.
Okay, so resolution passes. And then, if you're able to, Dr. Shepherd, do you have a copy over there you want Dr. Shepherd to sign? Okay. We'll have you sign that agreement and send a copy with you. Do you want an additional signed one so that you...
Okay.
There's that. Thank you. Do you have a copy of the rest of it yet? Did it get emailed to you? Okay. That was my pleasure signing that. I am really excited about this. I really am. Thank you.
We're excited to initiate this. It's gonna be a good thing.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the pharmacy is just the cream on top. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm real confident pharmacists are good people. I think they're very well.
Good. Good. Thank you, sir. Move that forward and come back out. Okay, we're going to move on to number 2, discussion of community building cleaning. This is not working out. We need a better system because it's not getting cleaned and it's not getting checked. We've had some damage done and we can't pinpoint who did the damage. So, any ideas? All of it, the community building, the annex, the senior center. What happens is there's parties on the weekends, it gets booked out in the morning, somebody needs to come in and clean it, and so with the evening people that's rented it's clean, or it gets booked on a Friday night and it's not clean for Saturday. We're just having issues with it overall. Thoughts, ideas?
Is the, new guy questions, is the list of things for the people to do, I mean, is it,
It's posted.
is it a good list?
I created a checklist for them so that when they go in, and actually Sandra's even had them sign the thing too when they lease it. They sign this agreement saying that they're going to do all these things. There's been times where I've gone back in and it's been trashed, and I'm sending pictures saying, do not give the thing back, do not give the deposit back because of it. But yes, there is a good list there for them. But the problem is if they damage something and then you have another party come in after they've cleaned it themselves, the party comes in or whatever, then they're like, we don't know who tore something up.
There's nobody inspecting it.
Yeah, there's nobody inspecting it, yeah.
What kind of damage?
The recent damage would be some of the ductwork from the ceiling was knocked down onto the floor in the gym. Department heads, do you guys have any ideas, any suggestions through workers?
I'll take a turn. I've said that. I just need to know when it's when I need to go. So I'm definitely willing to work in on that schedule. So I think we all just need to sit down together and kind of work on that.
Yeah, we are shorthanded in our office. We're shorthanded by 2 people on most days right now. So whatever we can do to make sure it's very streamlined and easy for someone to know how to do it. We don't want to have Sandra calling and hunting people down. So
So it's not just the cleaning that we need to worry about, it's inspections before the next group comes in.
Well, technically, like if you go in to inspect it, you may have to clean it, but basically they should be cleaning it themselves.
Right.
You should be
Theoretically,
able to
they
just
don't
check.
always do that. So it should mainly be an inspection, but it's turned into sometimes you go in and you have to clean.
Right.
So, I don't mind taking a weekend either, but Steve, you got a question? Or statement?
I have to start a community building committee that we're not, don't have anymore.
The committee never cleaned that.
Right, but then you see that it gets taken care of.
You're back to a group of people that are volunteers
volunteering.
and you hope they do the job correctly. This is honestly, it's the city's property, so I don't know that you could rely on a committee to really, I mean, you've got good committees, you got your cemetery committee that's really just rocking it out there, but when you're starting a new committee, it's very hard to get people in on the weekends to check it. I'm just not sure that that's the option we need to go with at the moment. Council, your thoughts on that?
I mean, I was doing it every weekend, every single time. She did the senior center and I did the other one.
Yeah.
And I just don't, I mean, I'm only one person and I have life too most days. So,
Most of your only one committee, they cleaned it, I mean, that's all they had to do.
But when was that? That was. Yeah, I was gonna say, since I've been here, we've had an employee doing it
Employee
that
cleaner.
gets paid to do it. And we had some of the girls getting paid to do it for a while there.
Is the deposit big enough that
no.
people care to get it back? Is that why they're not
It's
cleaning it?
$50.
That It's not a big enough deposit, I don't care if I get it back or not?
And we-
$50.
And we
I
have
did raise
withheld
it
the
'cause-
deposit?
We've raised
We
the deposit.
did raise it.
Right, but we've taken it, right? We've
Yes, we
taken the
will keep
deposit.
it. If it's not clean, we take it.
Or if things are broke.
If somebody gets over there to inspect it and we know not to return it.
Yeah, they have to be told, like whoever's inspecting has to tell them. And that's, like Sandra didn't know because I sent her pictures and said if they question it, here's why.
Yeah.
Well, Mark just suggested a good idea, make the deposit steep enough that they're gonna wanna get it back.
We did, we upped it to 50.
Well, 50 is obviously not working because it's a mess and it's trash and
It-
I don't like to get the money from
Yeah,
people.
you make
That's
the-
not 100% the problem. We're going back to the issue is there's damage done and we don't know who did it.
And
So,
it's the city's fault that happened, right? So we got to figure out a way to correct it.
and that's what we're working on. We're trying to have somebody that comes in and inspects it in between parties.
And in the meantime, there should be some kind of checks and balances or something interim to put in place until that can take place.
And that's what we're trying to do.
So I'm just suggesting increase the deposit to make it worthwhile for those people to take it seriously and clean up after themselves.
The
Okay,
problem
if
with-
I
the
drop a
problem with it-
$150 deposit and I rent it in the morning, and then somebody drops a $150 deposit and they rent it in the evening, and nobody checks it in between, who did the damage?
I don't know.
Then who do you keep the deposit from?
If the city's gonna take money, then the city's got to find a way to do the inspections. or check
That's
it
what
out.
we're trying to do.
If you can't do it, then.
Yes,
it
ma'am,
should
please
be
speak.
recommended.
Sandra had offered previously, and Alicia had also been, if we had a party scheduled on Friday and a follow-up party the following day, the city was paying them $25 to go check. If
Right.
there's no party, I think the issue comes when we have a party Friday and nobody inspects it, and then there's another party. So we're inspecting between parties on one weekend, but if there's a party this Friday and a party this Friday, nobody inspects in between there.
Okay.
So Sandra's doing a really good job of if there's two parties in one weekend, going up, making sure that trash is out, bathrooms are clean, and
Okay, so can she just fill out a work order on Monday stating that it was rented on Friday to send one of the guys just to go
send
up and
one of
look?
I think that's reasonable. I think
that's
the fail to inspect is when the parties are not both in the same weekend and they're a distance apart.
Okay, so from here on out then, Sandra's the one that knows that it's rented. So on Monday, when Sandra comes in and it's been rented once on the weekend and she hasn't been the one cleaning it, then she just fills out a work order for the utility guys to just check it out.
To go inspect it.
Yeah, and
I
maybe
think
we
that's
need an
reasonable.
inspection list of specifics, you know, what they're gonna be looking for, especially if you just send, you know, randomly Michael or,
Is the calendar on like a Google Doc where she could share it?
It's a Google.
So like if she shared
Yes.
it with me, I could also go check.
Okay.
I mean,
We talked about that once previously. The concern was having other people access to edit it.
yeah, I wouldn't want to, rent it or anything like that, just so I could look on there and say, oh, hey, okay, there was 2 parties. I'll run up and check.
We
So-
could inspect it Wednesday mornings when we do the
Yeah.
senior copy. I thought it was the cleaning of it on the weekends.
No, she's been going over there. If there's 2 parties in one weekend, she goes between the parties just to
Oh,
make
that's
sure.
Take part in the deposit, and pay somebody to go back.
Well, that's what
We
we were
don't always
just
give
saying, it's during a work week, and, I mean, they're already getting paid to work, so, I mean,
If
they
it's
can
on the
do it, or
weekend,
we
we
can on
pay.
the-
So
Yeah.
has she been returning the deposit before anybody's looked at it?
Not to my knowledge, unless somebody has, I
Because
feel
then how
like,
how did
it
somebody
has-
get the deposit back from the mess that was?
It has to have been.
From
I don't
the,
I don't know. I can't
the
speak
duct,
for her.
unless the
I don't know
ducting
what.
just fell, like, I
And it's
mean,
possible.
Well,
we don't know.
Was it a mess?
It didn't
in
fall, and she
addition
pushed it
that?
to the side of the
Somebody
wall.
pushed it to the side, obviously, but
Okay.
who knows who did that? I don't know.
I do know it's been left a mess in the past, and she has withheld deposits. I don't know where her information came from, to know to withhold that deposit, so.
Yeah, if nobody's going up there over the weekends, there's only one, then, and she's probably not going back after the second one then. So
No.
see, there's a problem too, right there.
Yeah.
So if they're renting it, she's going in between to stock up, make sure it's ready. If she's not checking that last one, then you're still not inspecting it. So it needs,
Maybe a Monday
an
morning
employee
thing.
needs to inspect it every Monday.
Every Monday.
Yes, that would work. If an employee inspected it every Monday, so I would just say, let's assign an employee that duty. Is there somebody on your shift or on your crew, Jim, that you could just have them come up and inspect it?
If anybody would be Dallas,
And would he be able to clean it if there was an issue?
unless something comes up.
That's always something that, then you can just call me, as long as it's not, I won't be able to do it on a Monday or Tuesday, of course,
Right.
but Wednesday through Friday, I can go up and
Yeah.
And clean.
We're both usually there on like
On
senior
Wednesdays,
coffee.
yeah.
Okay, so that's a plan. Does that sound okay?
And we'll work on getting where I can at least kind of,
It sounds like we need to tighten up the rules on giving the deposits back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we need to write some stuff down. So whoever's in charge of giving back the deposit needs to know they gotta check with, what's the guy's name?
Dallas.
Dallas.
So if Dallas is gonna be the guy, then he's gonna be the keeper of the keys for giving back the deposits too then, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah,
I
basically.
mean, if we don't,
we'd have to do that.
we're gonna have to lay some stuff down on paper that says, these people are gonna inspect it, these people are gonna give back the deposit if they've checked with whoever inspected it, or this isn't gonna get done. But, you can look at raising the deposit, but the problem with that is you raise it too much and nobody's gonna use it.
That's correct.
they
Yeah.
do use it because it is affordable.
Yeah, we increased it to where if they don't do it, it's worth paying an employee to do it. So you don't want to go too far beyond that. That would be excessive.
So I just want to clarify, on Mondays, Dallas is going to inspect. He's going to contact Sandra
Mhm.
if the deposit is not to be returned.
He'll have to come down and get a key from her anyhow.
Yeah. And then we're going to set up a schedule for regular cleaning amongst all the departments, and Christie, who threw her hand in the air.
If you would like, we can create an inspection sheet that he can grab when he grabs the keys. Would you like that?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
perfect.
Let me put that on my list of crap to do.
Because he probably doesn't know what we expect of him as far as going over there and making sure it's just tidy.
Give it to the person that rented it, that's what's expected.
For him to just look over.
That would be his church.
Okay.
Put a $50 deposit down, right, for cleaning or whatever you have written on your piece of paper when they rent the facility out. What if they exceed $50 worth for cleaning?
I think if they do damage, they have to fix it.
Have to repair
There's a
it.
clause,
Yeah,
yeah.
damage clause, yeah.
Because we did have someone break the basketball goals and he came in and he didn't let us know that he broke them, but we found that it was broken and he had to come in and fix it. So,
Yeah.
if not, he would have got charges and had to speak with the judge.
Okay, I think we got that settled. Number 3, residential zoning. Did you all get an email from me about, from Joplin's zoning people by chance? Did everybody get an email? Lana, you got the email, right, with the zoning? It's like 100 pages long.
It's been a while back. that you
It's been a
sent
while
it.
back
Oh,
that
I was
sent
going to say, I
it.
have not recently gotten one, but I don't recall. I apologize.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've sent it. So residential zoning, we just voted to put this back on old business because we really want to focus on this in the future. I do not have anything set and new right now. I'm still studying it. Like I said, I'm looking at Joplin's right now, which is way overkill on ours. But I do know that we are having some issues with having businesses in residential areas, which is causing some of the residential people upset. So I'm just going to continue reading that. I'm hoping that if you didn't get it, just let me know and I'll email it to you so you guys can get some ideas on that.
I think you sent it out before Dusty was
You
sworn
probably
in.
haven't.
Maybe
Let me
that's-
send that
I don't recall it.
email.
I got it on May 30th.
May 30th, okay. Yeah, so it's been a little while. It is honestly, creating zoning right now is honestly above my level of knowing 100% what to do. I have to study on this, guys, and I have to learn lots on it. So I think once we get enough knowledge to know in what direction to go, leaning on our attorney and some other people that are on zoning boards to help us get there is important, but that's all the information I have in that area right now. Council, any questions, concerns, anything you want me to look? Okay. So we're going to move on to number 4, committees for Summer Ball and Old Mining Town Days. Refresh my memory as to why this is on old business.
I don't know.
I think it was probably just tabled at one point for tonight's date.
What did you say?
I think that it was previously tabled for today to discuss it.
Are you maybe it was tabled because of the ordinances and we need to readdress those
We
ordinances?
still haven't gotten the
Okay.
ordinances.
Maybe that's why it was tabled. Okay, so let's look into ordinances.
Do we want to table it again so this doesn't fall off the radar?
Council, your thoughts?
The ordinances we
Oh,
talking about,
it's just
Committees.
thing on that.
just to make a committee.
In our ordinances, it states that they don't want council members on committees. Our council members have stepped up to these committees and they're rocking it. So if we want to readdress those ordinances and change it, I think you're stifling your community when you don't allow council members. They're obviously already involved in the community if they're up here every Thursday, or not every other Thursday, for meetings. So
Yeah, and good
My
luck
thoughts are, can we just get rid of the ordinances?
on it.
I mean, you guys have
Do
tried
away
to
with
get
it.
It's up
people
to you
on.
guys.
Yeah, nobody, trying to even
Yeah.
drag anybody in to help is darn near impossible.
community building, or I'm sorry, Summer Ball and Old Mining Town Days, just take that completely out of our ordinance list.
I think community building is in there too for committee. When we go to look at our committees and the ordinances, I believe that
It is.
there is a community building, summer ball, mining town days. I don't know if those are just the only 3 that we have now.
They make ordinances because there was an issue in the past.
Yeah.
Then you gotta look back and say, what was the issue and why did they set these ordinances?
And do we actually
Are they
need them?
still valid? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Exactly, do we
Yeah.
actually need them now?
Are they still valid and needed right now? So council, you can make that decision.
You're not talking about getting rid of the committees, you're still talking about trying to get committees together. right?
Yeah, just that there's
Yes.
not an ordinance holding that, like you have
So
to
we
have
think
this.
there
Put
doesn't need to be
stipulations on
city
people.
oversight of
Yeah.
those committees?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Does there not need to be city oversight of those committees, or?
That's the
I'm-
question, yeah, you gotta ask
I'm,
yourself.
I'm concerned that if we remove those guidelines completely, that it
Yeah.
might cause us some problems in the future. And I do think things are running smoothly now, but
That doesn't mean it'll be that way in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
accurate.
Well, and if you've got them, if a committee's running the Old Mining Town Days, all of the money goes into that committee and it's not going into a city account. That's a
Yeah,
little
we do want
concerning.
it to be split up. We don't
Yeah.
want it to go.
So let's just look closer at them. I mean, it's up to the council, but we can look closer at them and refresh them. I can have something by next meeting if you'd like.
Let's just refresh them. Like you said, look into it and see, for example, take off the stipulation that there can't be a council member on there, because, I mean,
We're doing it.
yeah.
So, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll come up with kind of a mock thing, bring it to you guys, then we'll shoot it off to our attorney. He can revise the ordinance, and then we'll vote on it in August, if that sounds okay. So if you'll put, if, I would entertain a motion to table it to the next meeting so that we can stay on
I
it.
always thought it was good to have a alderman on the committee.
It is.
That way there's no he said, she said.
One overseer.
Yeah, it came back, somebody report to the rest of the council.
It is. So a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we revisit the ordinances on the July 25th meeting.
okay, Doreen has made the motion to revisit these on July 25th. Bobby seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0.
Can we get a copy of those ordinances in our packets for next time?
New business. Bills to pay and balances on hand.
Can we ask a question?
Yeah.
Do we know how much we made off of the bouncy house, bull riding, mechanical bull thing? Is
No.
there, did we,
We received over $5,000 in funds from the Old Mining Town Days Committee, but there was no separation of what,
It wasn't even close, is what we can say.
But we had sponsors for parts of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that paid for parts of
we
it.
did not,
The city did not pay
yeah,
for any
the
of it.
city didn't pay, yeah, they didn't take a hit. We used funds we had or funds that we got in as sponsors.
Yeah, now you,
so
Christie,
the sponsor funds aren't
No, they're the
listed?
deposits that we brought in throughout the last couple of months.
Christie mentioned you guys do like gold and silver, and it kind of mentioned entertainment on one section. Next year, are you guys going to specifically say, yes, that was paid for by so-and-so? Are you going to be able to do that next year, or are you still sticking with the more of a?
We're gonna have a meeting and discuss stuff.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be making changes, so we don't know what we'll do for next year yet.
Getting there though.
Yeah,
I was
definitely a
impressed.
learning experience.
Got a learning curve in there.
You're telling us, it was wild.
But has anybody heard any complaints from it? No.
Haven't heard any.
Definitely not from that fireworks display.
yeah.
That was the longest one I've ever seen.
Somebody said it was better than Pearl Harbor.
I saw that. I saw that. I was impressed. I was highly impressed.
I think they were saying there is a fireworks display.
Yes, at
At
Pearl
Pearl
Harbor,
Harbor.
yes.
I was like,
Yes,
yes.
I
no.
was like,
That's,
I'm like, well, they need to step up their game.
any specific questions?
I'll make a motion, we accept the bills to pay and balances on hand.
Okay, Doreen has made the motion to accept the bills to pay and the balance is on hand. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Bobby has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Department head reports. Hey,
Victor,
Jim.
how's your project out there going?
Got a big 2 million gallon basin, we started running pipe work out there now. They built concrete clarifiers, they're doing all that work down there at the main lift station, putting all those manholes and balls, so we're really going along pretty good now. Once all the concrete work's done, it just kind of piping and pumps, and more mechanical type stuff, electrical. Closer to that phase.
Thank you.
Got interviewed the other day, too. There's some people from USDA came out, walked around, interviewed him. They're going to put him on the website as a success story. I think that lady was having a really good time with it, too. She was geeking out in your laboratory. Yeah. Hey, Jim, on the water leaks, we used to have where you'd put it in my box and we could put it on a spreadsheet so that the council didn't have all these pages.
I turned them in with Sandra because you were out of town. I turned it in.
I haven't been out of town.
Turned it in, yeah, I don't think you were back, it was like last Friday. I turned it in with Sandra.
Okay. So I'll just remind Sandra that she needs to put it in the box, so, because I'm trying to save paper. It just seems like we're like killing trees up here.
Yeah, I didn't make a bunch of copies of it, like I had been doing before, I just turned it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Stack and stuff.
Okay, so she just needs to know that she needs to hand it to me so I can get on that spreadsheet. Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure, it changed in the last 2 months, it's been that way. And I'm like, why did we revert back? But, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, in the weekend, the time before, I wasn't here, and Kim turned it in.
Ah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I did talk to Tim a little bit about the lead line survey, and he's gonna get with Brad, I believe his name, with H2O.
Yeah, I sent him a message.
Thank you, and we're gonna try to set up a meeting, because we really need to get on top of this lead line survey issue. Him only doing the 448, I'm concerned.
Lana, you don't have anything in here as far as the department head report. What do you have? Anything?
I don't. I had started typing one out and I just haven't had a chance to get back to it. There's a lot going on right now. I will make sure that next packet you have that.
Is there any issues, though, that we need to know about?
Just still shorthanded, hoping for that to change. I did have a successful interview and I spoke with Judge White about it this morning, and so anticipate having a new part-time employee start next week. Very excited about that. She's very qualified. She has QuickBooks experience, and I'm anxious to get her started.
Tim, with the never-ending fireworks, I want to tell you one more time, I'm so proud of your crew, and we really appreciate all that hard work you guys did up on that hill. It was amazing. Yeah, yeah. Hats off to you.
I
I'll
also
make a
heard-
motion, we accept the department head reports.
I'll second.
Doreen has made the motion that we accept the department head reports. Bobby has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. Moving on, Pat Styron, donation of the Lion Club signs.
Ms. Styron had reached out to me inquiring if the city would be interested in a donation of those Lions Club signs that are on each end of the city limits. They don't have anybody to upkeep those anymore, and she would like to donate them to the city, and the city use them as welcome to Granby type billboards. I told her I would inquire if that's something the city would be interested in.
Okay.
I think before we do that, we need to find out if they belong to her.
She stated that they did. She
Yeah,
stated
Terry
that she-
Hill built them and had them covered and put vinyl on them. And we hung them.
And my next question would be, they're on her property,
No,
aren't they?
no, that's state highway property.
On that little,
That little
down
triangle.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one there, and then there's one on, I think, it's still on the state right away up by Twin Oaks Drive.
Okay.
But I know Barry put a lot of work into them, and then we hung them for several years ago.
Yeah, who's the president of Lions Club?
I don't know, I sent Barry a message to ask him about it, and I haven't got a reply. I know, I think
Karen Mason.
Yeah,
Barry and Karen are on this, thing.
there's several of those teachers on it, yeah.
I mean,
So
what
we
shape
saw,
are these things?
what, Dustin?
What shape are these things in? The boards now?
They're just fake. We probably need like a new wrap or something. But I think it was vinyl that was put on.
Are we just being given a bill here?
They're decent signs, they just,
Yeah.
the Lions Club really isn't
They just
as
need-
active.
They just need repaired?
It changed from, when they redone the signs, when it changed from the Grammy Lions Club to the Stu Lions Club. Or if you do, I don't know what it is. Exact name of it, that's when the signs changed and they were redone.
So maybe just give Jim some additional time to find out.
Yeah, I think that would be important. You really need to talk to that whole club, because that's, says their
Yeah,
name on it. Any other thoughts on that, council?
So,
Sister,
we
she
can
knew
put
who the
that
president
on,
was, she's just
like,
not
check
read it,
Lions
so.
Club off and they say, "Welcome to City of Grandview."
We could, yeah, we'd have to figure out what we wanted to put on it if we changed that, so. Or what they would like to see on it, since it's technically their signs.
But if they're giving
But
them
if
to
they're
us,
giving them to us, then we would
Right.
ask them.
It'd make a nice welcome sign.
turn
Yeah.
back now.
I mean, I
might be
think we change them if they give them to us and
Yeah.
we pay for the wraps.
She's not answering. I'm sure she.
Lana,
knows
can you
that.
call Karen and ask her what her thoughts are on those?
Denise Stafford.
Because they might not be hers, like you said, too.
Yeah, I just knew when they done the change, Barry put a lot of time and labor and probably his material and stuff into those signs.
Well, and Julie might know as well, McGill.
That's who
Pretty sure
Kayla
she's
said.
under the
She said,
impression that that's her land.
Kayla said either Miss Mason or Julie Miguel would be the ones to contact.
So yeah, so you text Barry.
Yeah, I shot Barry a text message.
Yeah, okay, so I guess just get back with us on that one. If
we
there's a
wanna
need to
postpone
put it back on the agenda, once you get back, we'll get it back on there. I don't see a need to vote it in just in case, so.
Okay.
If that's okay, unless the council sees
Nope.
otherwise.
Nope, that sounds good.
Okay, so public comment time. Do we have any public commenters down? Martin, come on up for your 3 minutes. You get a timer set. Two minutes, 3 minutes. All righty. Hello, Martin.
What happened is that in the administration of P. Rampage and Crooked Isle, they've been going ahead trying to bring in zoning. And pretty well, everyone who shows up, they're against zoning because as they look at, they want to decide what to do with your property, rather than you council members who decide for them. I didn't remember the name of the woman, but are you the zoning? No, I'm totally against it. Essentially, that is the feeling. What happened, we had this conversation, and in the meantime, I get on YouTube, and I'm talking to Russian YouTubers, and they go ahead and show their towns in Russia, and I go ahead and show them in Granby here, and tell them to stop bitching and want to come to America.
Please don't use foul language.
Hmm?
Please don't use foul language.
In any case, I use quite a bit of language, and essentially they don't mind, they don't mind. So anyway, second thing is that I went ahead and looked at what I put up on my webpage back in the 90s. And what happens is that in 1987,
Is this specifically on zoning? Public
Public
comment time has to go back to what we're talking about here, not a plug for a YouTube channel.
You pull the same thing that T. Rampage Crooked Isle said, he said, I don't think it's relevant, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut you off. I go ahead and record it and tell them, well, this is what you're gonna get if you move to Granby.
Okay.
Don't move to Granby. I mean, I tell people, you gotta be absolute idiots to buy.
Is this on zoning? Are you speaking,
It
please?
is, it
What,
is.
please use the word zoning when you're speaking.
Okay.
Okay.
It is essentially in 1993, same old crooked crap. Essentially, here it is, them trying to tell people what to do with their houses But as a result, what happened was I was able to buy a number of properties really cheap because the council critters at that time
And what does this have to do with zoning?
screwed over. Well, essentially, it was the same idea that you have still now, is that you own the property. And essentially, you get to go ahead and tell them what to do. It's the same idea that the fascists and the communists did, is that it's their property because they're the government. They get to tell people what to do. And essentially, the whole idea of zoning is the same. And pretty well, what happens is that back in the 90s, I was about 20 to 30 and younger and stronger. And
Okay, thank you for sharing your opinion.
the,
I said it for
all the time,
3 minutes, thank you. I'm sorry? It doesn't say uninterrupted time, it says public comment time. I ask questions.
you guys go ahead and say we can't speak this because
Thank you, please have a seat, sir.
I make a motion, we dismiss.
Doreen has made a motion
I'll
that we
second that.
dismiss, and Christie has seconded that. All those in favor? 4-0. We are dismissed at 6:51 in record time. I guess I'm gonna fill these out.
I got a minute.